Hello. Yeah, it's been a few hot weeks since I last uploaded. Sorry about that. In short, I've been very busy. But from now on, the video should start coming in pretty consistently. Well, emphasis on should. You never know. And as you can see, in the past few weeks, I've moved. Okay, I actually didn't move. Um, this is just an apartment that my wife is renovating, and we're going to be staying here for the kind of Christmas winter break, for the holidays. And I might do an in-depth apartment tour because there's a few really interesting things here that we've done, but that's going to be in the future. For now, as you can kind of see, the walls are pretty empty. The shelves are pretty empty. The picture frames are pretty empty. Not sure if you can see those. There we go. The picture frames are pretty empty. What else? There's a wine bottle there. Wait, there. There's the wine bottle. Very important to have one. But all in all, this place does need something to make it cozy, right? It's very fresh, very new. So something like art would do the trick. And I guess what we are going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be adding some art to the picture frame right there, the big one, the one in the back. So that's what we're doing. So what you see here on the right-hand side of your screens is a model. And that model is from earlier video series that I've done, which is custom marching cubes. Right? Remember this bad boy? If you don't, check it out. CMC, like citrus, magenta, citrus, CMC series. Where we kind of used these elements to tile like a large three-dimensional sculpture. I want this to be printed out and framed. But I don't want it to be a render, because renders, well, it's going to be a render, but I don't want it to be like a classical, typical render. I want it to be like a drawing, like a line drawing, right? So what I did was I created this, I extracted this small portion. Let me escape out of the turntable. I extracted this small portion of the large piece right here. And I tried making like some experiments with it, seeing how we can get line work from it. And the problem with it is that this is a mesh, like series of meshes actually. So if I change this to shaded view, you can see how many polygons there are. It's very heavy. And the problem with that is that V-Ray doesn't work, will not work. Well, it would work on a stronger computer, but on my laptop, it just simply doesn't work, right? So I need to work with Blender, with Eevee. And even that, like trying this out on Blender took me like 4 hours to render out. And I can kind of show you the result. Just give me a second. Yeah, so here's the Blender file. And all you need to know about it is that we have a light source, we have a camera, and we have our single mesh, right? That's the single mesh. And the size of this Blender file is 700 megabytes. The size of an OBJ file that I imported into Blender was 1.3 gigabytes. And that's mostly the reason why it takes so long, is that like the rendering and exporting, importing, like you wait for hours on this laptop. It's just because 16 gigabytes of RAM gets saturated so fast that the computer needs to use the hard disk as temporary memory, and that just slows everything down by so much. I'll just quickly show you what I have here in the file, and then we will jump into my solution on how to actually render out the the big boy, and actually I can show you the big boy right now. The big boy is here, right? A much like we are currently working with this one, right? This one right here, and the big boy is going to be modeled out, or not modeled, sorry, rendered out for the poster. This is just us testing it out with a smaller model. So our 3D model right here, if I change this to shaded view, has a fancy shader on it. And the fancy shader is basically, you have this kind of grain, right? You have the line work around the shadows, you have the shadows themselves, and then you have the darker shadows, right? So it's a cell shaded geometry, right? Cell shaded material. If I change the sun position, can kind of see how it reacts and how fast it is actually as well, right? So that's one step. This was not enough to get like a nice graphic. So the second step was using freestyle, how is it called? Just give me a second. Yeah, freestyle, not brush, but like line work tool. And then using compositing to add the brush, add the line work on top of the geometry, right? So it's kind of like Make 2D in Rhino, only that it's built into Blender. So the final output that we got was this image right here. And you can see if I zoom into it, you can see the line work here, right? Pop up in certain places, especially here, you can see it, right? That's the line work, that's from freestyle. The line work from the shader also is showing up right here. And basically you get this kind of a aesthetic by the end of it. And this was the complete limit of what I could do with a laptop, right? So then I exported the big boy, this one, and I believe the OBJ file for it, 4.6 gigabytes. That's the OBJ file. So the OBJ file doesn't import into Blender. At least for me, it doesn't, because my RAM just gets destroyed, and I waited for 8 hours to import the larger piece, and it just didn't work. So I found a solution. And the way I found the solution was I skimmed through my emails that I got from like a sponsorship, not sponsorship, but like a collaboration suggestions or proposals. And I found this email from Wagon.io, and I can show their website to you. So here's their website. And so I got this email from Wagon.io saying that, yo, we can collaborate. By the way, they're not paying me. Just to be completely clear, they are not paying me to say this. And this is my first time trying them out on camera. I purposely didn't try it before, just to give you a raw impression of what's my user experience with the software or with the services that they provide. Speaking of which, they provide like network-based computer services. That's a very bad way of saying it. Basically, they give you a virtual computer, right, to which you contact via internet, and that computer is stronger than your computer, and you can do stuff with it. And as you can see here, there is Blender that can be used. Also Revit and then other stuff, but mostly we will be focusing on Blender in this video. The way you work with this is you get 50 gigabytes of space, You upload your files, and then you open them up on their machine, and there are like 3 different variations to their computers. There's the planet, star, and galaxy versions, basically minimum, medium, maximum performance, right? So for planet, you get 4 cores, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 16 gigabyte GPU. So, okay, the GPU is insane, but the RAM and the cores, that's not good enough for me, and that's actually what I have on this laptop right here. The Star, though, 16 cores and 64 gigabytes of RAM, that's perfect. And basically, you just pay you pay $3 an hour, and you get that kind of performance. Let's try it out. Actually, I will log in. So they gave me 1 hour of Star level and 1 hour of Galaxy level computer, right? Okay, so I painlessly managed to upload my OBJ and Blender files into the Wagon file system. And right now they're just stored in a file storage, but they're not inside of a virtual computer because it's not synced yet, right? So I need to go to my computer and I need to choose what kind of performance I want. So first I'll try with, do we immediately go for Star? Let's go for Star immediately. Let's just see if that's going to work or not. Run computer, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. It will take up to 2 to 4 minutes. Okay, cool. Let me stop the video here and we'll pick it up once it's ready. Okay, there we go. I'm in. So this is inside of a browser. And as you can see, there is a little bit of lag here and there, but it's nothing too bad. I see that, but now it starts lagging again. Okay, we're back. So I didn't record it, but it did reach 64 gigabytes of RAM during the import. But it is here, at least it shows up as being here. There it is in all its glory. We are now at the rendering stage, and actually the render itself is finished. We're actually at freestyle mesh loading stage. So that's where the whole mesh is loaded into, I'm trying to zoom out. Hello? Where the whole mesh is loaded into system memory, into RAM, and then, the compression is horrible. But then it basically will generate the line work for us from the loaded mesh. So this tells me that you can see here our memory usage right now is reaching 33 gigabytes, and it's gonna keep climbing. I assume it's going to reach 64 before it actually will start rendering, but once it's done, I will show you the final result. No need to kind of keep recording this. Of course, it's not easy as that. Of course it's not. God damn it. This is day number 2, as you can probably tell by the change in the light and so on. I've learned a lot of things in the past 24 hours. And one of the most important ones, like two are very important ones. First one, if you're about to use Wagon, don't do it in a browser, do it in an app. Download their app and use it through their app. The input lag gets cut in half, even maybe more so. All of your keystrokes register immediately and is just a pleasure to work with. In a browser, I mean, it's not so nice, especially if you're running Chrome. So use the app. Second thing is Blender uses a lot of RAM, like a lot. So as I was recording the video, as I was recording my workflow with Vagon and with Blender, my OBS crashed multiple times. Not because of some other external computer using a lot of RAM, but simply because of the app, I guess, and it not playing nice with the OBS recording. So the only thing that I have to show for is this little image right here. This is a screen grab from the workflow, from the rendering part. And as you can see here, this little nice curve that's right in the middle that says current memory usage is 96 gigabytes. Yeah, that took a while to say the least. So I was using I guess it's the most expensive version of what Vagon supports. And it's the performance version of the computer is called Galaxy, and it's 48 cores and 192 gigabytes of RAM, and you pay $9 per hour. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to pay that much if you have a project and you need that final stretch. You need that final to finish it up. And let's say you're doing a forest or something like that, something super demanding for the computer, and you can't even finish the scene without it crashing, then you just plug it in here in the Galaxy level of their computers and finish up the scene there and just use their computer as a rendering farm at that stage. So that's one thing. Another thing is, oh, by the way, here you can see all of the prices as well. Pretty reasonable, honestly. Another thing, very important thing, is that we actually managed to get a render out. And the render, it's like that, right? It's a pretty big image, ain't gonna lie. Like if I zoom in even further, like the resolution doesn't diminish. So the image is 10,700 pixels by 7,200 pixels, which should fit perfectly in the frame that I have there. At what DPI? At 300 DPI. So it should be a pretty crisp poster. So that's the plan. The plan now is to print out a poster and hang it on the wall, right? Easy. Well, not quite, because I thought about it and I contacted Vagon asking, what about Rhino? Is there a way of how to use Rhino on your machines? And they went like, yeah, of course. So I have another image. Here it is. This is done in Rhino. And it, as you can probably tell, it has a few more elements here. And I think it looks even cooler. And I managed to do this with only, it's not only, but with only 30 gigabytes of RAM, which just kind of showcases that Rhino is kind of optimized for crap like this. And also the line work is pretty nice in Rhino. So we're actually, we're going to be printing out this. And I guess the next step is to find a person who's going to print it for us. There it is. It's a pretty big boy, isn't it? I mean, yeah, what can I say? I didn't expect it to be this big, but now we're going to be, we're going to be dealing with it as it is. I'm going to hang it later, tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow. I just want to get this video out. And as you can see, the poster is there, it's finished. So we're done with that. I guess final thoughts, right? Final thoughts of the whole process. Vagon and using Vagon for this project was really good and really convenient. I wouldn't say that I will be using Wagon for the every project, for full on every project from start to finish, but I will most definitely be using it or continue to use it for the for parts which I cannot make with my own computer because it's simply too slow, right? So those final adjustments, final detailing, I will continue on using Wagon and their services, and I suggest I suggest you check them out. They gave me how do you call it, like the promo codes, where you can get some free stuff. I think it's like 1 week free of use with 1 hour of one of their computers. So the registration is free, and also you get 1 hour to test out of their computer. I will put a link in the video description so that you can check it out. And yeah, that's it. Those are my kind of final thoughts about the process. In regards to the poster itself, all of the files that I've used or that I've created are available for my Patreon supporters. If you want to download this poster or any other version of this poster, you can do so by supporting the channel over at Patreon. And usually the files that I upload there are available for, I think like it's $10 tier and up. But since it's Christmas, it's available for any supporter right now. So even if you support the channel for like $1, you're still gonna get all the files. I guess that's it. I need a haircut. Before this year ends. And this is the final video of the year. So I will see you in 2022. Thank you so much for this year. It's been such a pleasure. Later.